Hey yo, this is another video, so let's go. Alright, alright, now think about it like this. Murder was the case that they gave me. As I look up at the sky, my mind starts, a tear drops my eye, my body temperature falls. I'm shaking and they quaking, trying to save a dog. But didn't he give, he decided to sell his soul for those riches, right? Okay, right? So, now think about it this way. When you see these rappers, you know, taking pictures with the Minister Farrakhan from the NOI, Nation of Islam, you know what I'm saying? I have no fear of anything. I already not been showing myself for months, almost over years actually. So this is nothing. If y'all new to my channel, whatever, seeing this video, I always never show myself. You can always look at all my videos. You'll never see, because the physical ain't important to me. You know what I'm saying? What is what you project. So just like light comes from darkness, if light comes from darkness, yeah, I'm outside, so it's a lot of noise going on. So when light, your darkness projects bright, or the light, so you got to go inside. That's a part of the occult, or the occult realm is like that which is hidden. So that which is hidden, you got to go inside or go find it, or say Sankofa to go back and find. So I brought up Snoop Dogg earlier. My body temperature falls. He was gonna die, you know. So when he was gonna die, he said, the guy was like, the other guy, or the so-called devil in the song, in the story, he said, never have a want, never have a need. So after he decided to sell his soul for the riches, you know, yeah, really, you know. So Snoop, he's very instrumental in a lot of people getting jammed up or dying. He's like, you can't say the jammed up word. That's streets. That's the street. Yeah. I'm saying it with all sincerity in my voice. So you see him taking pictures with the taking pictures with Minister Farrakhan, right? You see the same thing with Common, same thing with Kendrick Lamar, all these different people, Ice Cube, all these different people. People don't realize that Minister Farrakhan was actually, he's actually part of the White House, as in foreign relations. Remember, he was a friend of Muammar Gaddafi, and saying how America's gonna pay and all of that. You know, it's all just a ploy. That they buddies behind the closed doors. America's buddies with all these people that are like that, or whatever. So like all these different countries, they're friends of America, and have your mind in America on the war, like, oh, America is gonna take care of this. America gonna take care of this. Yeah, because it's already taken care of. But they just got you worried and thinking of something else outside yourself. That ain't gonna do nothing for you. Like they even did that with the whole thing, like with the whole thing with Japan, when like the whole thing in Hawaii and all of that, when they supposedly Japan bombed them. But all that is pretty much the same thing. They'll make you feel like you have an enemy when you really don't. So if you feel like you have an enemy, your attention is going to be on that enemy, talking about the enemy, wondering when the enemy is going to attack. All types of things, socially or politically, is on the news just to get your attention. So if that's the case, well, I remember hearing this very vividly. So we got. Hey, I go hard, man. Even when they try to bump my videos, or when they try to block my videos on YouTube, I say, oh, okay. So since y'all want to play, I can show you how hard I can really go. But like most of these ideas, I already had like in passing. It's not like I just come up with it. It's like I'll have it, sit with it for a while, but like sometimes you just can't sit with something so long when it's extremely prevalent and right in your face. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said, you know. So like on the West Coast, they be like, you know. So as you can see, you gotta get your eyes right, you know. Snoop on what? Restaurant recovery. After what? The COVID thing, right? So the restaurant recovery thing, and this is the guy raising canes with tied graves. This is not the only one. This is at a bus stop. This is at an actual bus stop right here. This is at an actual bus stop. So a bus just passed me. So let you know it's real in the field, whatever. So he's out here taking pictures. He got football players taking pictures with Todd Graves, all types of different people. So these are celebrity people. But when I remember, Tupac was like, you know, people so fucking nosy they can't even mind their own business. But Tupac was saying how Snoop kept asking him, "You going to Vegas? You going to Vegas? Or you going to Vegas?" This is before, you know, all the whole thing with Vegas happened. And then it's like the same thing would happen with Nipsey. I feel like he would have had something on him or a weapon on him. You know, if you tell that snitch, the guy that ended up doing doing what he did to him, you tell him to leave your store premises because he a snitch, then he come back with a weapon, but the government actually protecting him after he do the shooting. So he's just going to show you, like, think about it like this. Snoop, within itself, he kept asking. I wouldn't be surprised if Snoop asked Nipsey, because, you know, everybody feel like, oh, Nipsey reminds him of Snoop or whatever. But the thing is, he looked up, like, as an artist, looked up to him for the music he made. So I don't know what he thought about him personally, but I've seen them chilling and talking together. So, but the thing is, Snoop, he's actually, what do you call it? All right, I'm gonna go back to the story with Tupac. Tupac was like, man, Tupac. I remember when they was having, it's a lot of noise. Snoop and Tupac was really having a fallout at the time, and they wasn't really seeing eye to eye. So he kept asking him, when you going to the fight in Vegas? But remember, Snoop never went to the fight in Vegas. You never see him there. All you see is Tupac stomping the guy out with Suge, and then leaving with Suge. That's all you see. And mind you this, there's no key in the ignition. If you look at that picture very closely, there's no key in the ignition, like they're ready to roll or ready to go. There's no key in that ignition. So, hey. But anyway, yeah, so Snoop, this is actually a Photoshop picture. If you actually look at it, it's very low quality right here. And this is a picture. It's like a green screen. They're taking it together, but they're not really taking it together. It's not real like that. So Snoop actually had the same thing with Biggie too. And wow, I got a sign just now. You know what I'm saying? I can't. You wouldn't understand everything I see, but I just get the signs how I get it. In 1997, when Biggie lost his physical life, you know, Snoop and when Biggie was very cool. So if he was very cool with Biggie, that's why he was Tupac was upset with him because of that radio interview. He said, "Oh, Biggie's my homie. I knew him before all of this even happened." So Tupac feeling like, if we ride, you supposed to be rolling together. I understand y'all cool, whatever. You just make it what it is, and don't let the world know it before I know it. They're like, we homies or whatever. So like that should have been cleared up from the gate. But Snoop, he was asking Biggie, because Biggie had an interview too, just like Snoop had like how Tupac had an interview. They were saying how, yeah, like it's so crazy. Biggie was saying how Snoop was asking him, you going to LA, you going to LA, you going to LA. But you don't ever see Snoop with these people. When the shit about to really go down, you don't never see him around these people because he's working with them folks. That's the same thing with what do you call him? Shaq. Now I'm gonna show you something. It's a little drive away, but I'm gonna pause it and record it. So you remember, you see, so you'll see even I'm gonna stay with Snoop. Snoop, you see him in Vivint commercials. That's how you protect the home. Like that's like so people won't break into your house. You get your home protected. Damn, like people on the streets and the homies, they can't do what they gotta do. I know it's messed up or whatever, or fucked up that when people try to break in your house or whatever. But that's most people don't want to work, or they can't work because they got a record and they gonna have to do what they gotta do. But now you know your Crip homies and is kicking in doors to people's houses, and then you got Vivint actually helping people get caught. So it could be your Crip family getting caught and getting tossed in the paddy wagon or the county. So if that's the case, damn, you doing a double job. You helping kill other rappers and you helping get your homies put in jail. So, but yeah, it's like he doing other promotions and all of that. So remember, he was on the TV show with Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart was in jail. So and that's damn near all like you on the TV screen. You gotta give something up to be there. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to somewhere where I know it's a Shaq publication too also. So when your face is everywhere, it's a reason why your face is everywhere. Because when you have the eyes of the people, that means somebody put you there. Somebody, and also he got a sponsorship with 19 Crimes. 19 Crimes. I never bought they wine. It's a wine company, and they 19 Crimes, and Snoop, he's on the California Red version, but it's like it says California Snoop instead of California Red. They crossed out the red or something, if I'm not mistaken. I saw it in a liquor store. So he's getting all this promotional money and all this kind of money from doing. Yeah, I can wait. So he getting all this promotional money. Remember, he did a job for these people. He got Tupac on a platter, Biggie on a platter. I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing happened with Nipsey, I didn't want to watch the video when it happened. So like a year and a half, well 2 years later, Nipsey came to me and he said, watch the video, and I watched it, and I was so angry and so mad, like he wouldn't let that happen like that. Like, of course, like anybody can get caught slipping, of course, but the thing is, how it happened. It's like nobody else tried to grab the gun or whatever or anything, because you know who it was coming for. But I don't know if they knew that. But I'm gonna stay on task. But it just feels kind of whack and weird, you know, how all that happened. So what I'm gonna do is show you another person that's getting all these promotions or all these commercials, advertising. All right. Hold on, sit tight. Yeah, hold on, sit tight. Yeah, I got to do it. You got to do it. So, like I promised, so this part's gonna be about Shaquille O'Neal. If you know, he's actually an Omega. I mean, as in like the like the Greek fraternity. He's an Omega, right? Talking about Shaquille O'Neal. So, there's a picture of him wearing a wig and a dress. Remember, they make you do certain rituals or certain things to make it inside of an actual fraternity. Right? They call it Hell Week. So that's more likely that was past Hell Week. He looked a little older, like he was already playing in the NBA at the time you see the picture. But remember, there's a video that years ago on World Star. It was a woman. She was actually recording. The whole thing inside the Omegas. They was They was having kind of a meeting, and they invited other people outside of their actual fraternity to be involved in the actual. In whatever they were doing that day. And so if you remember right, you have brothers, the lady that was recording, she's recording on the slide. So what she was doing, when she was recording, she had to record it because she saw brothers walking around with their pants down, not with their underwear up, over their waist, but the underwear was down just like their pants was down. So if that's the case, so we gotta think, Shaquille O'Neal, he's been in all these commercials. You got the general insurance. But remember, his father was in the military too. So association from military to also, that's association, then you're gonna have you damn near, if you coming through and with that, you're gonna have you actually a part of that system. If you're a part of that system, then he getting all these commercials too. I'm not hating on these guys, but the only way you can get your face on with all these companies for promotional reasons is to do a work for him. So the thing with Shaq, they had him leave LA. These things are because I have certain conversations with these people that were once in physical bodies that are now in the spirit realm or the ethers. So as you see, executive seating, there's a couple of them in this store. The store I'm in, you're gonna be able to read it. You know what I'm saying? So it's what, Office Depot, whatever. You see it right here, exclusively for Office Depot. So he's doing promotional work for him because people like to see people they know and actually selling something they want to buy or would like to buy. So same thing. So he actually helped slow down the whole thing with Kobe going past Michael Jordan. He got close without Shaq on his team. That means he showed you how powerful he was. Kobe, what I'm talking about. So they had to remove him because they knew, because the Black Mamba is what? The snake, and they always go against the Great Mother. The Great Mother, and if you look in mythology, would be Tiamat. Tiamat is looked at as the dragon, the Great Mother, in the Necronomicon or Sumeria. So I'm going to show you another one in the same building. Okay. So like I already said, he's done promotions for the general insurance. You know, like I said before, his father was in the military, so he said, "I'm representing. This is for the general." I remember when the general insurance had very cheap commercials. So now the commercials have gotten bigger because his face is on it, and now this is with Epson right here. So he's doing one for Epson. Piece of cake, baby. So that's how they look at us. If it's a piece of cake, they'll just be able to get, because they know people like to associate themselves with people that have status. If they have status, if we've seen them like a basketball player or whatever, they like, oh, I watched them play, so let me go ahead and buy this merchandise or whatever it is that they helping sell. So that's how these people get their faces on these certain billboards or posters or whatever size it is, but they do it just like that. So when you constantly see stuff like that, because you got to think about the reason why I say that's very important, because if Kobe would have got surpassed Michael Jordan at 6 and gotten past 6, he made it to 5. So if he would have made it past Michael Jordan, they would have looked at the ritual or the Great Mother or the dragon, because he was a mamba. The snake is a part of the dragon. The dragon only gets his wings and it raises itself to its higher self. So that's the case. They actually took Kobe and Aaliyah down in a plane crash and also a helicopter crash because they were associated with the dragon. Because Aaliyah, she was a vampire. Vampires is like the serpent or the snake. And then, so if she was taken out, because remember in Queen of the Damned, she could fly. So if she was taken out in a plane crash, they actually wanted to use a ritual in order in entertainment form in order to do away with the Great Mother or the Great Mother energy. So now when I seen this picture, I say this is very telling. And we call it the Masons, because all the police officers, What else? Fire department and the people that come out, the ambulance, they all are part of the same system. So they're part of the same system, even with the Masons, fraternities too. They all are used by God, and God doesn't like the dragon or the snake. So if he doesn't like the snake, that means they're actually helping to take out highly melanated people or so-called black people, because we the ones have everybody, like, we want to have the kundalini, but our kundalini goes to our pineal gland. So now look at his hands. Now if you watch, remember I was brought up Minister Farrakhan previously. You'll see him at times. You'll see him at times with his finger up, and that's a Masonic symbol. So that means you're pointing up to something. You're actually pointing up to something that's above you, which would be what? So-called God or so-called God. So if that's the case, he's actually telling you whose side he's actually working for. So if that's the case, he's actually working against the people that's actually cheering him on to the extent. So if he's working against us, as you can see right here, it says just feel and chill, Shaq. So he put his signature on it. So it's this is where I'm at, of course. But I'm not gonna say it like as in that. I'm more of just gonna show you. So, but anyway, that symbol itself is an old Masonic symbol. Or you see people put their hands, cuff their fingers inside their coat jacket, or, you know what I'm saying. So that's like what the lion's grip, or the lion's grip symbol for Masonic. So he's pointing up to show you to something greater than you, which would be God. But God doesn't love your soul. He actually hates your soul. So these people are doing the work for people, actually against highly melanated people or so-called black people. So that's why I say, hey man, do like we see these things, these pictures or whatever, but be very knowing of what these things really mean, because they're actually using a ritual or a spell against you, and we go out and buy it because their face or name is on it. But we got to start studying these things, studying mythology and knowing, because everything is based around mythology. So when I tell you this, hey, it's not me hating on these people that's doing getting all these promotional revenue. It's more of, hey, be mindful of what they're doing, because they're doing a work against us. Because we are the Kundalini people, just like they say St. Patrick got rid of all the snakes in Ireland. But how can you get rid of all the snakes in the landmass? You can't. It's talking in code. The snake people are highly melanated people, or so-called black people, because we have access to our pineal glands. They don't. So that means if he got rid of the snakes out of Ireland, that means he killed the pygmies, the short people, or the Twas. You can look these names up, Twas, TWA, online, and you'll be able to see the short people. So remember, the leprechaun was mad about them taking this gold in his land. And he said, I'll kill you for it. I'll kill you for it. So if we don't know who the enemy is, we'll be like, oh, it's nothing. But he's idea. He's actually doing a work against us. So just saying these things so they'll put things in entertainment, but we have to be understanding about certain things. Go inner. That's what they're doing, going inner and using this work against us. So the real people is actually, as the real people they're going against is us. So, hey, they'll do anything to make sure they're receiving any types of funds or anything like that for that, in order to make it, and in order for not to go out in the world and work for it or whatever. They did the work to slow down what other people were doing. So hey, they're gonna receive a check behind it. So I'm just letting you know, these people in certain in the industry or whatever, they'll do these things because they don't want to. They want to be seen by the public. Seen as in, when you have the eyes of the public, that means you have their attention. So if you got their attention, that means you can put certain symbols in front of them, and they wouldn't know what it means. But it's going to your inner self, and it's like you don't really understand what it means, but we created all these symbols. So-called black people, highly melanated people, we created all these symbols thousands of years ago. Now we just remembering again. So if we don't remember if we created it or know that we created it, then they'll just use those symbols against us as a ploy. So remember, watch the hands. Watch the hands. You know what I'm saying? Or watch their intentions, because their intentions is not good for you. So remember, I told you, Snoop said in that song, he sold his soul for the money. I seen Shaq wear a dress with a gray wig on, like he was like, you know, how Grandmama or Larry Johnson used to do in those commercials. Same thing. It's just that we gotta look past the veil or the illusion, and then we can master everything around us. We can master, of course, but it's something behind it. Everything, like the occult means that which is hidden. So if we don't know what this means, that means we giving, oh man, I need to go get me an Epson because hey, he's working, they paying him to show his face, so I'm gonna go get one. No, I'm not getting one. I would never get one, because I would get another brand just because he's right there. So that's a way we're using our magic to combat certain things that they're doing. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video short. I feel like I proved my point. And these people are actually getting in the way of certain things that need to gets done. So I don't fuck with Snoop. I don't fuck with Shaq. A lot of different other people I don't fuck with. Even to think about it, sidebar, Common, and actually Common was actually a ball boy for the Bulls. Didn't I say Common? Taking him and Common and Ice Cube had a beef back in the day, which is not really real. Like the same thing with The Game and 50 Cent. They had something going on, but they're both Masonic, and The Game had something going on against Meek Mill. If you watch their hands, they took a picture together in the studio. Look at their hands. Watch Meek Mill's hands. Look at The Game's hand. You'll see. Look up the picture online. You'll understand and see where I'm coming from. And you'll be like, damn, yes, this is not what we think it is. Just because we buying some shit, no, they buying your mind too also. So just be mindful about certain things. So if that's the case, I got somebody walking around me being nosy, so I ain't tripping. They want to see what I'm doing. I don't need to steal nothing. So regardless of what the situation is, we got to understand 27 just passed. That's my eye. So if that's the case, our mind is everything. They'll play on your mind in order to get over on you. So, but yeah, Common was a ball boy for the Chicago Bulls, and what's his name? He's from Houston. He was also a ball boy. I forget his name. His name is, he's a rapper from out of Houston, but like Missouri City too also. What is his name? But anyway, I cannot think of his name right now. He actually had a baby with one of the Kardashian girls. And he has the braids going to the side. Cannot think of his name, but you should be able to pull up what I'm talking about and understand what I'm saying, because he was a ball boy for the Houston Rockets, where he's from. So, and now look, he's on, and the lady he has a child with, they're on TV, the Kardashians. So that's what I say, all this is very intertwined and with each other. If it's intertwined, no, it's Travis Scott. That's his name, Travis Scott. And he was a ball boy for the Houston Rockets. So that means they have a tie since they was younger and all of that. So that's what I'm saying. So if that's the case, they're going to play on your mind and play on you and do certain things to get over, because it's all about an illusion. So if the illusion is not working, that means you actually seeing past certain things. So look up these pictures and it'll make sense to you. All right? Peace. Nigga. No love for a hater. And 29.